time in for this, but I also have to say that it's been really, really hard accepting for me the progress of the situation. I mean, the state of the game, and moving that into the volunteer space for me. Like initially, I got super excited, but then as people, I mean, chipped in various degrees, mostly also down to me not being fully there and capable at maintaining the momentum. I think this is going to help a lot, Magnus, with the Scrum thing, but. Also, so it's been really, really hard for me to get that kind of roller coaster ride where people are in and then they're out, and then it's me alone again, and then everybody's on board. And if we can just get to a point where everybody is like pretty aligned on what they want to work on. I mean, I just have to make sure that it aligns with the vision of Interstellar Marines and the direction that I want to take it, but I really want to listen to you guys getting there. And then I just have to be a lot better at talking to you guys about expectations. I mean, how much time can you chip in, and we just have to make it like more fluid and more, I mean, less complicated, so it doesn't have to be so emotional. But I guess that's just the state of things. This is a challenging things, making a game this ambitious that we spend so much time on, and then continuing on in the volunteer space. But I think I definitely know we can make it work. I mean, we've made 2 updates so far. That's phenomenal. And then briefly, I just want to say, I think that the biggest concern, and I think you're handling this very good, Magnus, is aligning the whole way we work. I mean, Scrum meetings, how do we do quick design meetings, and how do we motivate each other? How do we chip in? The whole chat format on Discord doesn't really work well for me. It just drowns everything. So I think meeting like this more often is more interesting, and then maybe getting the stuff we work on into Trello and making sure that each team member has a lot more power on the things they're working on, in design, in help designing them with me, and then writing about them and adding them to Trello and maintaining them and showing them to the world. I mean, I think that's key to kind of maintain the motivation we need to establish as a team here. Towards the things I want to work on, I really want to take the game in a direction where it's much more interesting to play. I mean, I think we all do. We all believe there's something there that's very exciting and interesting. The main direction of Interstellar Marines is not necessarily where we can go. We're not going to deliver co-op versus sharks anytime soon, or role-playing and skill playing. And that's also ties into, it's really hard to have a game that's really at some point needs to be balanced towards you going through a skill set, becoming more adept in equipment and weapons, faster reloads, having access to better equipment, and all that ties into where do we put the needle in terms of the time to kill and the damage of the weapons and all that, because you don't have that scale in. But that scale has always been designed for kind of like the cooperative single player experience. And now, because of early access and getting people playing, we needed multiplayer and things like battle royale and war games. So where do you put the needle, and do you want to tweak it down to accommodate this type of gameplay, or do you want to tweak it up to accommodate this type of gameplay? I think right now the sweet spot is that we have a game that's very like intuitive in playing, so it's very arcadic in the right way. It's definitely not the perfect mix, but it's a good balance between that core tactical Raven Shield meets Fear and Half-Life, and I think. But there's a lot to work with. I know Beagle, you have a lot of ideas there. Primarily, it's for me, it's about getting the stuff we have more interesting. And I think, it's a lot of work on AI and getting like working from the ground up towards making the stuff we have more interesting. And reading what you've read, what you wrote, Beagle, is very much in tune with that, trying to make the most of with what we have. But for me, besides that, growing the player base is also about making something new. And I think the stuff, I mean, you might not all have the technical overview of how the cluster master and the servers work, but it's Magnus and I have been talking about it. It's fairly easy for us to create this social hub where we can expand the world building and make like an entry place for briefings and for missions, and making everything more accessible. And I really want to work on that. And that's kind of like the foundation for the primary work moving forward. And then making everything more customizable and more random is definitely right up the alley, both in the co-op missions and inside the war game missions. I mean, you could have CTRs patrolling buildings and creating like co-op missions within co-op missions and stuff like that. So yeah, but I don't want to talk anymore. I think the main thing here is that we align everybody and are excited to work on something and everything. We just have to think win-win and seek first to listen and to be understood.